Are you ready to find out why AI is making you busier rather than becoming more productive? In this video, I am going to answer a question that I do get a lot as someone who talks a lot on stages on how to use AI for work, and as someone who is an AI consultant to a lot of business owners, of why is this, the paradox thing of like, I want to use AI to be more efficient, and what has happened is I'm busier with AI. And without sugarcoating it, the first reason is you're still doing it yourself. And as a business owner, you might just be doing a little bit of the solopreneur life too hard, where you're trying to still do everything yourself. You're trying to have AI be your first employee, and this is a mistake that I see a lot, because honestly, AI can never really beat having a human actually still push the buttons to make sure it's doing the right job. So what I mean by you're still doing it yourself is you have to think of it in a lot of different ways, but the simplest way is you just haven't delegated using AI to someone else. Now, of course, with us and our clients at 𝐡𝐞𝐥𝐲, which is my virtual assistant agency, this is one of the first things that we talked with them about. It's just because you have a laptop and you're connected to the internet doesn't mean that you're the person who has to be the one using AI, versus being able to fully delegate that to an assistant to be able to run that, to create the system with your assistant basically, then have your assistant keep running your AI systems. And the biggest reason why this is one of the things that you can definitely delegate right off the bat is that your assistant essentially has a little bit of your basic understanding of how you work, of what your expectations are. AI doesn't have that. So you have to keep training AI every single time your own quality expectations, what your goals are, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get done. And your EA or your executive assistant basically already has that in their head. They've learned the context of who you are, what your business does. They have learned how it is to work with you and what your quality level of output is. So then as your assistants start doing that and as your business grows, then you can start delegating it to someone who's more of your manager for more of your doers. So for the doers in your company, they're focused on tool, and essentially AI is a tool. So it's learning the different levels of delegation basically as you grow as a business owner, or in different levels of wherever you're at, whether you're still in the solopreneur stage, you've hired your first assistant, you have even a manager to manage the doers in your company, whatever that looks like in different stages. It doesn't have to be you using AI. Now you can be the leader of it, you can be the ideas person of, hey, what if you do this, what if you do that? Because a lot of the time I see so many people try to do it themselves when it comes to figuring out how AI works. And a really good example is sometimes myself. Like, I'll discover a really cool tool and I'll spend 8 hours learning how to do it, how to figure it out, when in reality I'm not the doer anymore. So even if I try to automate some things in the business, since I'm not the doer, I don't have full context. So then I give it to our marketing team, I give it to our managers, I give it to other people, I delegate it, make sure that I give them a clear, like, hey, this is what I want to see, and be able to just check in on them and let them do their thing so I can focus on actually growing my business instead of just running it. So this is a pitfall where, like I said, I also fall into. So that is the first thing you want to observe, is what are the things that I can definitely delegate to someone else that doesn't have to be me, so then I can focus on the actual things to grow my business rather than just tinkering with AI. And of course, if you are looking to hire your executive assistant, make sure to check out the 𝐡𝐞𝐥𝐲 scorecard to get yourself started to see if you are ready for an EA in the first place. Now, speaking of tinkering with AI, this is something that I see a lot as well, is AI becomes now a distraction. It's a new exciting thing, it's a new thing to learn, to get better at, it's what everyone is talking about, but in reality it's become a distraction for you because you're just constantly tinkering, you're constantly looking for ways to use AI better and better rather than letting other people teach you how to do it. Or it's just become kind of an escape for you. Like, you'll say like, oh, I'm being productive because I'm creating this system for the business, I'm using AI to do it, but in reality you're not really getting anything done. You're kind of just playing, you're kind of just making this something that is just time suck for you. So you think that you're productive, but in reality you're not. And the biggest reason for this is you're adding but not eliminating. So what this means is you're adding more things to your workload to use AI, but you're not using AI to eliminate things out of your list. So this could be, creating automations on 𝐫𝐞𝐚𝐥𝐿 or Task 8 AI to create your AI agents to make a lot of things more automated that you don't have to be the one doing it. So you're eliminating instead of adding. This is a mistake that I see again all the time, where people end up adding things into their to-do list when it comes to AI, rather than looking for ways like, hey, how can I eliminate this task for myself? How can I make this more automated? How can I have the quality of my work that is usually so consistent be more consistent with AI? So you're looking for ways to, again, have AI eliminate things rather than add things onto your plate. And speaking of quality control, this is something, again, I see is that because you created an output with AI, you still have to do the same amount of work of editing that AI output to make sure that it is actually good. So you're doing a little bit of quality control, which is what I recommend. Never treat AI as a first draft. Never treat what AI gives out as something you post right away. Always treat it as more of your first draft or your brainstorming buddy. But this is the other reason why a lot of people do get stuck with AI, or are going to the path where it takes them double the amount of time to just have done the work originally rather than having AI do it, just because you have to do a little bit of quality control. So this is why it's important to delegate how to use AI, or to at least write out guidelines for your team to be able to follow on how to use AI, so you don't have to be the one spending a lot of time doing a little bit of quality check just to make sure that AI actually produced the thing that you want it to make. And lastly, and this is something that I'm sometimes guilty of, is just the over-reliance on AI, is we forget that we're the ones with the thinking brain, that we're the ones who has the context, we're the ones who know what actually makes sense and what doesn't with the context of our lives and our business, that we just rely on AI to tell us what it is that we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to be focusing on next. Is we've gotten to a little bit of the stage, depending on how much you've used AI yourself, is that we've just relied on AI to kind of think for us, without us focusing on also upgrading our own skills, upgrading our mindset, upgrading how we want to think about certain things. And we've kind of just made the AI a little bit of our default on how to do that. So we want to make sure that we avoid that as much as possible by maybe scheduling in the time that you want to use AI, versus like when you're working on a new skill or upgrading your mindset, is we actually take the time to do it ourselves rather than having AI as your quick buddy when you don't want to think about something, or you're thinking about something too hard and you tap AI to be able to do it. So you want to try to find a good balance for whatever that would look like for yourself, so you're not overly reliant when it comes to using AI for your day-to-day. As AI gets better and better every single day, every single minute sometimes, it can be very tempting to just kind of dive in and use it as kind of a replacement of ourselves. But in reality, AI can never really replace or substitute you. It can only empower you and basically double what you can actually already do. So it's not supposed to be your plus one, it's supposed to be your multiplier. What I mean by that is, if you are a 0 and you are relying on AI, since it's a multiplier, the output would also be 0. And the way that people usually think is in an addition, like, hey, I'm a 0, AI is my plus 1, so my output is going to be a 1. So, but in reality, again, it is a multiplier. It can only be as good as you are, and it can only be as good as how you use it as well. If you're going to use it to be a distraction or something that eliminates things off of your plate, and you also are able to delegate it to the right person, so that it's easier for you to have ideas and have your assistant or your manager run through it and actually execute it with AI. That's something that I do a lot. Is anytime that I find a tool or find something like, hey, can we explore this? I give it to my team. They're the ones who are the actual doers, so they're the ones testing it out. Rather than me testing a new video editing tool, I'm giving it to our amazing video editor, because he knows what a good output looks like, versus me trying to guess like, oh yeah, is this what our current output looks like? He knows what it is because he's the one doing it. So that's the main thing to keep in mind, is as a business owner, just because you can do it doesn't mean that you have to. That's why we delegate. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions that you might have about using AI for business. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.